weekends can really put you in a haze. Mondays especially can always be a beast. And sometimes you need something to kind of get you from weekend to weekend. Well, why not just stop by March and Ash and enjoy No Tax Tuesdays? That's 30% off selected brands. That's 30% off selected brands. That's No Tax Tuesdays. Look, to get all the details and to stay up on all that's going on every day, you can just follow and subscribe the Hilariously Blunt and Cannabis Enlightened podcasts. I mean, they're both sponsored by March and Ash. Or just visit marchandash.com.
Olas Media.
This is Cannabis Enlightened with Dr. Leroy.
Welcome to another episode of Cannabis Enlightened, sponsored by March and Ash. We're happy that you joined us today. Obviously, I am not Dr. Leroy, but I am here today to do what he would normally do, which is to bring you the information about the business and education of cannabis. And we're going to have some fun today. We've got a special treat. For those of you who may be considering going to Coachella, or participating in Stagecoach, you don't want to tune out of this episode before the end. We've got a big announcement. We've got some aficionados from March and Ash here today. You will obviously be hearing this before 420. And today we're going to empower you and enlighten you with all your 420 events that you should be participating in and how you can celebrate responsibly 420 here in San Diego and beyond. Today, I am grateful to have Kayla Bass with me from March and Ash and Tonya Aanenson.
Yes.
Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
Now, I know some of you all are going to have fans and they're going to know who you are, but a lot of our listeners may not have had the pleasure to actually getting to know you. So I'm going to start out right at the top and allow you to do yourself justice by giving a little brief introduction. So I think, Tonya, why don't we start with you and tell the people a little about who you are. We know you're affiliated with March and Ash. I didn't say that at the top, but you tell them the details behind that.
All right. Well, been working here at March and Ash for almost 2 years. Loving it. Started out on the sales floor, actually. So I was on the sales floor for about 6 months. Awesome position opened up for me, which is the vendor relations and event coordinating assistant. That opened up, I saw it, and it just spoke to me. I was really looking for something else in the industry that could just kind of like push my career forward a little bit. And this opened up, I had to grab it. So I've been doing the vendor relations and event coordinating now for almost 2 years and having so much fun with it. And I kind of started in the industry though in 2019. That's when I started. I was working at another dispensary and I was a receptionist actually. So receptionist, you're kind of like the face of the company, right? So I was talking to a lot of people, customers. I was talking to all the vendors. So that kind of like grew me, and I noticed more in the industry, March and Ash, and that's when I was like, I gotta go become a team with March and Ash. And I came over here, and then it just felt right, speaking with all the vendors. I already kind of had a relationship with them, and so this position just kind of was perfect for me.
Well, then, I mean, since it was perfect for you and you're perfect for this discussion, I'm going to go right out and put you on the spot. For those who don't know, what is 420?
420? It's our holiday. It's our Christmas. It's our Black Friday. It's our New Year's. It's our holiday, and it's just like a time to celebrate, everyone.
When does it happen? Just for those people. When does it happen?
April 20th, 420. Yeah, 420.
Okay.
But every day 420, you can light one up too.
I love it. Now, Lady Bass, we come to you now, also known as the OG, as I've heard people call you. Tell the people about yourself.
Sure. I've been with March and Ash since 2019. They had just opened up their second shop, which is out in Imperial Valley. Shop number 1 was Mission Valley. March and Ash started in 2018. So I've been here through a lot of significant growth over the years, almost 5 years. So I'm the marketing manager, and I've seen a lot of change and growth in the company since starting day one. And I've been here through it all. I'm sure I've got plenty of stories to tell you.
I got it. What would you say has been the biggest change that you've seen in the industry or with March and Ash? Or both? I know I had heavy hitting questions off the top, right? Yeah, that's right. It's Cannabis Enlightened.
I think just like in general, attitudes toward the cannabis industry has changed significantly since it went recreational in California. So our customers, our clientele, it's evolved over time from people who were once curious 5 years ago when it became recreational to now they're seasoned connoisseurs and, they search for the best of the best. I think one thing that has been really unique for March and Ash, and it's something we speak about often, is just the environment that the company provides and creates. It makes it feel really accessible to people who come from all walks of life. And I think that's one thing that's been really unique working here and getting to see over the years.
Yeah, that's good. And I know now that people kind of know who they're listening to and who they have the pleasure that we've established you as being the experts, they really want to know, okay, so what the hell do you do? Right? And I thought the best way to do that would be to talk about 420. You said it's the big event. It's the Super Bowl for cannabis, right? One of them, right? So I want to kind of just, right off the top, what do you all have in store for the consumers, for those who may be unfamiliar to March and Ash or 420? What do you all have lined up for the people?
Well, there's so many layers to it.
So one of our, obviously on 420, April 20th, Saturday, April 20th this year, we celebrate by having a big event at Mission Valley. And what that entails is multiple cannabis vendors. We have food truck. We have music. It's basically a fun little party on site. Non-consumption, of course. Tonya, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, it's going to be really big this year. It's on a Saturday, so can't get any better than that to have an event. We have almost all the vendors here for 420 that we coordinated to get together, bring their 10 by 10 tent out, set up. Just brand awareness for all the customers, which is great. We want to bring that here, let everyone get a chance to speak to the vendors of what they buy in their product, get to know the product more, get to know the vendors. But in coordinating that is a lot, right? Almost 30 vendors here, getting them here on the same day at the same time can be tough. So there's a lot of work into that. And then there's a lot of work into just creating a really cool sell, a really cool promotion. What's going to be different than all the other dispensaries who are celebrating in San Diego, right? We want everyone to come here, which probably won't be too hard since we have, 9 locations. So I think everyone will be coming out to March and Ash, which is really exciting.
Well, for most of us, we know that you all at March and Ash spoil us, right? From the time we walk in the door, there's usually a concierge that can actually guide us through our whole experience. I'm not going to do anything different now. I want you all, for that person who's listening, who's never participated with March and Ash on 420, give them an outline of their experience. How would you tell them and lead them through their day? I wake up, let's say, at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning.
Oh, that's perfect.
What do I do?
Yeah, so you wake up and you're going to get your booty over to March and Ash because we have a doorbuster deal. It's a $1 goodie box, and inside of that goodie box, well, obviously a lot of goodies, pre-rolls, edibles, flour, vapes, and every box may be a little bit different, but you can rest assured that there's great quality product inside, and it's all valued at over $75. The way that you get this $1 goodie box is that you just spend $75 subtotal, and then you basically just you're doubling it up, right? You're buying $75 worth, and we're giving you $75 worth. So you're going to be sitting pretty with a lot of weed for hopefully a couple of weeks. I don't know your consumption style.
Yeah.
What about, so you said start there. That's where I should start.
There,
are you guys going to run out? Are there limited supplies? What's the deal with that?
We do have a good amount. We planned ahead for that, but we are expected for it to be a pretty busy day. So up at 8 a.m., get your booty over here, get that box, and you'll be session all Saturday, all Sunday for sure.
Got it. Get my booty up for the booty, right? That's a treasure. It's a treasure. All right, so I came to March and Ash, one of the 9 locations, right?
Okay.
One of the 9 locations. I've got my goodie box, okay, and then.
Well, then if you come to our Mission Valley location, then you're going to peruse the event. But after you get your goodie box, from there, I would suggest if it's lovely weather outside, you gather around with your buds or
get your friends. There'll be enough to share for sure.
And have your own little 420 sesh.
Nice.
The name of the game.
But I also know you all are partnering with some other partners. Normally, I mean, you all are great in the community in terms of like working with other, not just dispensaries, but other groups and organizations who are pro cannabis, right? And who are helping to have responsible consumption in with great quality and doing it the right way. Is that the same thing this year?
Definitely. We have a couple of events going on in the community outside of what is going on at March and Ash. So if you're looking for a yummy brunch time, which who doesn't love brunch in San Diego? Mic Drop Comedy is hosting a pre-game to 420 comedy brunch. Highly suggest you check it out over at micdropcomedy.com.
And that's our friend, our host from Hilariously Blunt, Walter Ford. He's actually going to be there too, right?
Exactly. Yes, he's one of the hosts, and so you can be guaranteed a good time. There's going to be a range of comedians who will perform for you. You'll get to have brunch, and then everyone will also get a swag bag.
Nice.
At the end of the event. So that's one fun opportunity for you outside of March and Ash, but we'll be there. Also, we've partnered up with Chiba Hut, and we're doing an event with them. So basically, they're going to have live music. They'll have other vendors. It looks like they're going to be doing goat yoga, face painting, caricatures, games, giveaways. It's going to be a 420 bash, basically. And so you can go over to Chiba Hut. It's over in the SDSU area. We'll be there in the afternoon from 5 to 9 p.m. And you just come up, meet our team. We'll have some, fun little giveaways for you guys there. And, it should be a good time.
Well, I mean, talk about the team. You all have a great group of folks at March and Ash, and everybody, like you're telling, you seem to be very happy in working there. We've had the privilege to have on this show other employees that have come and talked about their experiences there. I think it says a lot that you all put the time, effort, and energy, and it just reverberates throughout the community, right? Like one of the things, like you all didn't have to do this, like it's 420. Like obviously if you all work in cannabis, you all enjoy cannabis as much as the next person. This is like the holiday. It's almost like I want to go work at Best Buy for Christmas Day. Like no, right? So you all actually have to do this out of the calling. And so I kind of want to go underneath the curtain, behind the curtain, underneath the covers, what have you, to kind of figure out like what all does it take? Because I know you just don't wake up and it happens tomorrow, right? We're a little short of 2 weeks, away. When do you all start like planning for this? Because I'm sitting there thinking, okay, you said a goodie box, $75 value. That means that all of those brands that are going in the box, somebody has to talk to those brands or SKUs, make sure that we've got all it. Like there's a lot of coordination that goes on with this. And that's not even considering the 10 by 10 tent that you talked about with all the vendors being here. Like somebody has to make all that happen. And I'm assuming, because y'all are here, that is y'all. Can you give us an idea of like what all goes into that, Tonya? Like, well, how does it start for you? I know you all do other events too, but specifically 420, give us kind of an idea of what all you had to get into to make it happen.
So like you said, lots of coordination, lots of communication. I mean, I feel like I've been emailing vendors since last year, the day after 420, come back. But it's, March and Ash does make it pretty easy because we do have this reputation of, we're not going to cut corners. We do everything, really professional, make everything super easy. Everything's lined up. So the vendors really don't have to do too much work. We just got to get them to come here,
Gotcha.
Which most of them want to be here. They want to be here with March and Ash. They saved the day for us pretty much, So that makes it a little easy. But yeah, getting a lot of free products to go into these boxes can be really tough. we work with vendors and we build a relationship with them. We help them, with like their needs and like what they need being in our shop. And then we also, they also help us with like things like this, with like sending products. They know it's going to be a good advantage for them to be in that box, right? Thousands of people are going to be trying their product if they haven't already, which is great for them because, some people could get stuck into just buying the same thing. They stay true to the products they know, but there's so many different things out there, right? There's how many different edibles you can try. And so, I mean, it's kind of an advantage for these brands to be in the box, but it is very hard and is tough with the times we're in to, get those products and ask for such large amounts because we have so many locations. But so that's kind of the tough part, and we want everyone to succeed here, right? We want all the brands to do great, and we want the community to get the awareness of each brand. So we really try our best to like get every single person out here and coordinate it the best we can,
Yeah, I mean, it's for me as a layperson. I say a layperson as if I'm not working in marketing, but like part of the thing that amazes me is that this isn't the only thing that you all have going on at one time, right? Like, most people are very familiar if they just ride by on Tuesdays about the No Tax Tuesdays, right? I mean, you have 30% off of selected brands there. Like, that's a thing. Then you're already planning for, there's a July that comes. Like, there's so many things that go on throughout the year, and this is just one of those many events that you all put together for the community, right? Like, I think in this day and age, it'd be so much easier to be like, you know what, we're going to hurry out the community, give us our money. We know you want the cannabis, come get it, cut the corners, but you all don't. Kayla, how do you all make sure that you maintain that standard of like, yeah, we're here to make this accessible to the community in the right way, but also we're not trying to rob them blind? I mean, because this stuff can be expensive. Like, this is high quality, tested, safe cannabis in as you said, we like to call on the show, the Neiman Marcus of cannabis dispensaries. Like, there's a lot that goes there. Someone has to maintain that standard from the jump set. How do you do that? Like, how do you front face into the community? How do you do that and then execute it?
The first word that comes to mind is education for the consumer, and it's something that we prioritize at March and Ash. Yes, the product you're buying may cost more than what you're used to buying, and if you're interested in trying that, we're going to tell you the reasons why it's priced at that, because of the quality, where it comes from, what goes into it. And, a lot of these cannabis companies, too, can be mom and pop kind of operations. It's small. There's still a lot of cannabis companies that kind of operate from, like, a grassroots position, so to speak. Of course, there are the bigger brands that, are in multiple states across the country, and those kind of tend to be on the lower price point, I think, in my opinion. But regardless, it's the education. It's understanding what you're consuming and what you're putting into your body, and I think that's really important. And that's one way in which we are able to maintain a higher standard.
What is your one favorite thing that you like about organizing 420?
It's the opportunity to bring community together and, create a safe space for people to, I guess, be out and about their, consumption. This, I think, may kind of stem from, past stigmas that have existed around the cannabis community. And I think that's something that March and Ash has also been able to kind of squash in a way, by being an active community partner and by focusing on education and, maintaining good looking stores that are organized and really functional and easily shoppable. I think that all contributes to a good 420 experience.
Tonya, how about you? What are you looking forward to the most about 420?
Just bringing the vibes, honestly. And like, I really feel like we do like set the standard in this industry in San Diego, and so like it's a lot of fun to put it all together and just like see it all come together and see everyone having fun and like bringing that 420 for everybody. Like, that's what it's all about.
Got it. I want to dig into this goodie box though, because I still trying to wrap my mind around. You're gonna have $75 worth of products. in this one box that people can come get for $1 after they, I mean, explain to me one more time, and how do you put it all together, and how do you choose what goes in it? Because I would imagine, like you said, with all the brands that you have, how do you say this makes the cut, this doesn't make the cut?
Oh, yeah, that's hard. But I mean, the main thing is it's so much fun to put together. For like, we are hooking everybody up on 420. $1 for a box. You're getting like 7 products in this box, full size products. It's really exciting. And first we just like send out to our kind of mostly our key vendors, like, this is what we got going on, see how they can support us. And then of course reach out to like the newer brands we just brought in, also like our tried and true brands. But we kind of reach out to almost anybody, see who like wants to support us on that day, see what kind of numbers they could bring us. I mean, we're talking pretty big numbers, like thousands of products. And so which a lot of them really gave us some cool stuff this year. So I'm really excited. Not only that, our box this year is so cool. It's really cute. It might be one of my favorite ones we've done so far, just the way that it looks and the colors and everything. So that's a lot of fun. Like, picking the theme for the box was a lot of fun this year.
Well, I want to kind of dig into that too, because I've, for those of you who don't know, I've actually put my hands on the box and I've put my eyes on the box, and it's just a cool box.
It's
dude.
cool,
Like,
right?
I mean, granted, what's in it is awesome too, but just to have it. And I know you all have a history of, like, every year there seems to be something. Like, I imagine one day, 25 years down the road, somebody's going to have this display case of all the 420, giveaways that are going to be there. And it's going to be awesome. I remember, like, once, and it's not just on 420, you do it all creative stuff all the time. Like the lunchbox, I remember, like, that was a hit.
One.
People are still talking about that, right? Like, how does that process happen that all of a sudden we say, hey, this year, goodie box, or hey, this year we're going to do a signature shirt, or this, like, how does that come about? Was there a brainstorming process? Is there a team? Is it submission from the community? How does that happen?
Oh yeah, lots of brainstorming. We definitely get in there with the meetings and the brainstorming.
That's why we plan so early, because we want enough time to, like, really think about what is it that our customers would potentially like and want and would find cool or valuable. So, with the lunch tin that we did for 710 last year, it's a collector's item and it is really cool, and people are still talking about that. We just kind of like to switch it up. We do usually have like a signature like shirt that goes along even with it too. You'll see everyone will be rocking a KRD collaborative t-shirt with Merchant Ash at every store on Saturday, April 20th. This year's theme is Trippy Meal. So we kind of took what looks like a fast food box and basically just made it look like weed. So you're going to see like a hamburger with like concentrate oil oozing out of it as the sauce. And you're going to see like flour nugs that resemble that we would call chicken nugs, but then you're dipping it in like some concentrate sauce. It's really cool. It's artistic. It's creative. And I think it's kind of, it makes it fun. It's like you're receiving a gift, whenever you get this. It's not just a sack of products, it's something visually appealing and fun.
And who's responsible for that design? Is it, do you all like use local artists sometimes? Is there like, how does that design even come about?
Our marketing team. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We, on the marketing team have a bunch of wonderful graphic designers and artists that we work with. And that's how it came to be. We're a creative group of individuals, and that's the fun part when it comes to these events like 420 or any other kind of events that we participate in. We have the opportunity to, flex those creative muscles, and that's another thing that contributes to making the job a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's got to have some passion involved too, right? Because, I mean, this is hard work. I mean, it's fun, but it's hard. I mean, where do you get your passion from?
I think our passion stems from our passion for the industry. A lot of times people are working in this industry because they're connected to it. Working in the cannabis industry for some may be just a job, but I find more often than not that people who are working in this industry are passionate about it for a myriad of reasons.
I think, I mean, again, as a third party, somebody who just sees it from the outside, I think it shows in the work that you all do. Hopefully, the only time you get your reward is not when everybody's excited or you hear somebody geeking out over, the box or the keepsake or what have you. But I think it's impressive. I think when you look at an industry of this age and the high level that you all perform against all odds, like here, I mean, we can be honest, there's still a lot of people who are not allies in this space, right? They're not looking to advocate for not even responsible use, but use in general, right? And so you're stepping on the front line, so to speak, right? Like if you let that standard fall, then it just gives more fodder for them to kind of fight what you all are doing. And so I'm just saying that I know that I admire it, but I also admire the great products that March Nash has. So I too am looking forward to the goodie box. I want to see all the things that are going to go into the trippy meal, right? And I think that everybody enjoy it. I mean, I think people would long since talk about the goodie box, but I remember from last year and being out and seeing everybody, there's just a buzz in the air. Right, like everybody's excited. Everybody's anticipating it on Friday night, right? When you're going out and about to your regular happy hour, they're like, "What are you doing tomorrow? Hey, why don't you come through? Well, I'm going over here first." You all have 9 locations that people can actually go to, right? And then you multiply that times all the brands that are in there. Multiply that times all the partners that you all have, and then layer on top of that the number of events that you have going on that day. You've got the Cheaper Hut, you've got the Mic Drop, and you've got each one of those 9 locations. Like, I think people really have to start planning what they're going to do so they don't mess around there and mess up, right? Like, but that's between them and their cannabis. Well, I mean, and I'm sure that's not the only event. I'm sure that they could probably give you all something to do for a whole year. But what are some of the other events that you all plan? Maybe do y'all do anything internal, or is everything just outwardly facing for the community?
Yeah, those internal events are some of my favorite. We give back to the staff and throw them a party, bring out all the same vendors, have them hook up the staff. They're working really hard on 420, and they also like really want to celebrate too, right? So a little bit after 420, we like to like throw a party for the staff, hook them up, give them the same thing we're giving to the community too, which is a lot of fun. So
that's got to be good too, because like I said, I've always been impressed by the concierge, right? Like how they're knowledgeable they are, and outside of just the training programs, obviously they're able to speak firsthand about like, this is my experience with this brand, with this product. And I think that probably helps with that too, right? So now when they go back into the store and they're talking to that first time customer that's coming in, or the person who just now has started to indulge, they're knowledgeable and ready to jump out and doing that. And so I think that just speaks more to, what you all are doing inadvertently, well, maybe inadvertently, but inadvertently to kind of help train the staff so that they're empowered to do that. What other events throughout the year for the community that you all have?
We participate in San Diego Pride every year, which is always a good time, and a great way to have boots on the ground and be in the community. Another event, one of my favorite events that I've ever helped coordinate, was the Earth Fair in Balboa Park in 2022. They used to have a big section called Cannabis Row, and as a participant you can come in as a village. So we basically built a little March and Ash village, which took so much coordination, but it ended up being such a cool event at the end. And I don't think people understand just how much work goes into planning events. It's honestly a full-time job in itself. And so that one was really neat. And with that one, we got to bring in our partners over at Cannacraft. So we had several booths also set up. We basically created a village in the back. Then we set up like a DJ booth and had like our own little renegade kind of stage, and set up a lounge for people to come and relax underneath the trees. And that was my favorite event that I worked on. But our Pride events are always lots of fun too. It's fun to get creative with it, and offer everyone who attends a special promo or goodie that just for stopping by our booth is our way of saying thank you.
Is there, because that sounds like nothing but imagination to me, right? Imagination come to life. Is there anything that, whether it be laying in the middle of the night, something that's come to a dream, is there something that's in your mind that you're like, one day I'd love to do? Is there that special project, that passion project that, maybe you don't have it yet, or idea is? Tonya, what about you?
I've always thought of, and I think it'd be it's a dream, but it'd be really cool, I think, for us as March and Ash to have our own event space, consumption space. Not too many people are spaces in San Diego can you like rent out and consume cannabis. And I think it'd be so cool if we had our own space. I mean, imagine the other events we can do out of that place. And so that would be really cool. That's like a dream.
If I could add to that, just there isn't really anything like that in San Diego. It's not, I guess, legally allowed. You know, it takes a special type of like license to be able to operate something like that. So, you know, just keep in mind with all of these events that we're producing or participating in, they're all non-consumption.
I want to leave some time because, like we said, we've got a big surprise for all of our Coachella, Stagecoach, and just March and Ash fans that we want to talk about with. And so in the time we have remaining, I just want to kind of know from you all, last 420 advice, right? Like, for the first timer, the veteran, what would you give them? What's your final takeaway for just 420 event with March and Ash? We talked about, don't forget to remind them about the goodie box. You got to tell them about Chiba Hut. We definitely want to know. I think I'm going to actually be at the brunch with Walter Ford, and we're going to actually have some mics set up to record some people. So if you hear this and you're coming by there, ask for JC or Walter. We'll get you on the mic, and you can kind of give us your review and your status report on 420. And hopefully we'll be able to beat it down and come back over here and maybe pick up some people over here at March and Ash in Mission Valley or one of the 9 locations to kind of hear how everybody's day is going. But final 420 events before we reveal the big surprise for everybody.
Ooh, definitely come out here to Mission Valley, March and Ash Mission Valley. We're going to be having our event from 11 to 3 p.m. with all the vendors. So you're going to get hooked up with a lot of swag, a lot of cool stuff. And just, you know, have a great Saturday. What more can you ask for? Saturday, weed, San Diego, sun, free stuff.
I couldn't say it better, but I will end it with consume responsibly.
There you go.
Exactly. I think, you know, we always talk about that with that education comes a lot of responsibility, and because we get the opportunities to really do a lot of things that other people don't get a chance to do in other states, right? And it's up to us to be great stewards of the privileges that we've received, right? And that people have worked hard for. So anytime that we can say consume responsibly, we make sure we do that. That way we can consume again, right? We're talking about 420 2024, but if we were going to talk about 420 2025, we would probably maybe talking about maybe more than 9 locations. I think we have some new news that we kind of want to share with everybody, and I guess, Kayla, I'm going to let you kind of break it out for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, well, our exciting news is we have gone from 9 locations to 10 locations, and we have just opened up a shop in Palm Desert, just about a 20-minute drive, a little less, away from the fairgrounds or the festival grounds for Coachella and Stagecoach. So it is such a quick and easy hop off the highway. We're right off the I-10. Swing by March and Ash and make sure you get your festival needs, everything you need, and you know, make sure you're buying quality stuff, and you can look no further than March and Ash for that answer. So that's the exciting news, and who knows? Maybe I'll say my dream is that maybe March and Ash will be at Coachella.
Uh-oh.
Hey. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, here, we recorded it.
Yeah.
So if it comes true, we know it started here, and we broke the lead on that story, right? Like, yeah, but we're not journalists, so there's nothing there. But yeah, no, I think that's awesome. Tonya, any final words?
I'm really excited about the new shop, and yeah, if you don't pick up here in San Diego, you know, got a trusted spot out there by Coachella. So all the same brands, all the same great quality. Come head out, come check it out.
Do you want to do any shout outs for any brands that might be there? We know we've heard about the ABX often being making an appearance, and we always know that that's one of the great popular brands. What are some of the brands we want to kind of tell the people to look out for?
KRD is one of our big brand partners. Blem is also a great supportive partner of ours.
We love Blem. Some of the food trucks we're really excited too about. We're gonna have the hash papas here, so they make these really yummy like hash brown sandwiches. I mean, it sounds so delicious. I can't wait.
So we know where we'll find you, right? You're gonna be here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll come looking for you. Well, listen. appreciate you all stopping by and spending this time here with us here on Cannabis Enlightened. We're going to encourage everyone, first and foremost, consume responsibly. But in order to consume, you have to take part in the 420 activities and festivities. And so we're inviting you out to one Mission Valley or the other 8 locations that you could go to enjoy 420, reminding you that we also have the brunch that's happening at Mic Drop with Brother Walter Ford, the host of Hilariously Blunt. We also have Chiba Hut that they've partnered with as well. We thank you all for putting all this together for the benefit of us. We know that without you, it wouldn't be able to happen. So we look forward to more with you, from you. And until next time, as Dr. Leroy would say if he were here, knowledge is power. This has been Cannabis Enlightened. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Cannabis in Line podcast, sponsored by March and Ash. If you're interested in exploring more about the products and services offered at March and Ash, be sure to visit their website at marchandash.com. Cannabis in Line is produced in San Diego, California. Jessica Garcia serves as a general manager, Elia Ramos as the creative director, JC Polk as executive producer, Lena Alvarez assists with production, and Chad Peace, who is a president and founding partner. To learn more about March and Ash and their premium cannabis products, visit their website at marchandash.com. This podcast is a production of Olas Media. Thank you for listening.
Olas Media.
Come to March and Ash on 420, Saturday, April 20th for 25% off store-wide. Plus, when you spend $75, you'll receive a goodie box for $1. This goodie box is valued at over $75. For more information, visit marchandash.com.
Ever notice how much birds and fundraisers are alike? One flies around the world singing melodies for all to hear but rarely understood. The other one lives in a nest. If you want to hear from some phenomenal birds, join me, Charity Jen, on the From the Nest podcast, where fundraising takes flight. Find it wherever you get your podcasts or subscribe at olasmedia.com.